Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Teaching the Basics. My name is Uttiyo. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you get notified. So let's get started. In this video, I'll be talking about types of operating system. First one is batch operating system. This one is the diagram of batch operating system, and let's elaborate with the points. Similar type of jobs are grouped and treated as a batch by the operator. Now all the users are submitting their jobs to the operator. Operator is grouping the job of the operator is to group the jobs and make them a batch and feed them to the CPU. So now the batches are fed into the CPU for the processing, and the system will then perform the required operations in a sequence, and we can consider this as a type of serial processing. Okay, so what are the advantages of a batch operating system? So in a batch, jobs execute one after another, saving time for from activities like loading compiler. Let us suppose that some jobs require the help of a C compiler. So the operator will figure that out. It will prepare a batch, and when a C compiler is loaded in the CPU, all those batches, all the batch that containing all those jobs that require the C compiler will get executed. Now some in another batch, let us suppose that in batch 2 it requires C++ compilers or a Java compiler. Okay, let us suppose that. So the operator groups those jobs that require Java compiler in a batch, and after loading the Java compiler in the CPU, the operator submits that batch that requires the Java compiler. So it is actually saving time for loading compilers, as after a single load of a compiler, all those jobs that require that particular compiler is processed. Okay, and the next one is no need for human intervention. Once you submit the job, you do not have to worry. The operating system will do the rest of the job for you. So what are the disadvantages? It is very difficult to debug batch systems. There was no concept of primary and secondary. Actually, this batch operating system is a old concept. Okay, so when the batch operating system was developed, at that time, the concept of primary and secondary memory was not present. Lack of interaction between users and operating system is one of the disadvantage. Suppose an error occurs in one of the jobs of a batch, then all the remaining jobs get affected. That is, they have to wait until the error is resolved, and while resolving the error, human intervention may be required. Okay, so let's go to the next thing, that is the distributed operating system. With the help of this diagram, I will be explaining it. So the first point is a collection of several individual systems. That is, let's suppose this one is an individual system, this one is an individual system, and this one is a individual system, and this one is the individual system. So all these four are individual systems which are communicating with each other through a LAN and WAN. Let's suppose that this computer network is formed with the help of a LAN or a WAN, and cooperate with each other. All these individual systems, they cooperate with each other with some software interface. Okay, and in order to provide the users access to various resources. Let us suppose that this machine has a printer attached to it, and this machine has a fax machine attached to it. This machine has a scanner attached to it. This machine has a plotter attached. Now let us suppose that this machine needs help, needs to scan something. So it is going to communicate with the software interface. With the help of the software interface, this machine is going to communicate with this machine, and this machine will give access of its scanner to this machine via this LAN communication. So this is how the distributed operating system really works. Okay, and they are loosely coupled. That is, the hardware and software may communicate with each other, but they need not depend upon each other. So this is an individual machine, and this is an independent machine. It has got all the capabilities to work alone. It is just taking the help of this other machine just to perform some specific work. Yeah, otherwise it has got all the capability to work alone. This point explains this. So the next one is distribution transparency. That is, the fact that the resources are distributed must be hidden. Okay, now I require the help. This machine requires the help of a scanner. Okay, and this machine has got a scanner attached to it. Okay, so so while I am going to use the scanner application, I may not be asked for any other kind of permission or privilege, because it may look like that this machine is working all alone and all the devices are attached to it itself. Okay, and this is how a distributed transparency is provided to this individual component. This is what I mean by the distribution. As all the devices are distributed, but it is giving a notion that all the devices are connected to a single unit. Okay. So what are the advantages of a distributed operating system? So the first one is it reduces the reduced load in the host computer. A single computer doesn't have to take all the load. It is distributed among all the other hosts in the network, the distributed network. So if a user wants to access a printer, it is going to access the particular node that is containing the printer device with it, and if another user wants to access a scanner, then it is not going to go to that node that is containing the printer. It's going to go to that individual node that is having the scanner attached to it. Okay, so this is how it reduces the delay in data processing, and thus the data processing is the delay in the data processing is reduced, and it is also, this is how it is giving a better service to the user, as there is there is a reduced load in a host computer, and there is a reduced delay. And then comes the open and scalability. Now there are if I want to add some new components to my distributed operating system, it is very I can easily add some distributed operating as I add some distributed components to that operating system network. It's a communication network, and as they are loosely coupled, okay, so it is very easy to scale up the operating system. So let's move on to the disadvantage. The network security issue. Yes, there is a network security issues for distributed operating system. Let's suppose that one node gets infected by virus. Is going to spread the virus among all the individual nodes connected to that particular computer network. So we need to take a uh, very thorough and very protective approach in this distributed operating system. And then it is unpredictable. Unpredictability is another disadvantage. Uh, as all of them are free to work in their own way, and so that is why, that is one of the reason, as these all the individual systems are loosely coupled, so that leads to unpredictability. Then comes the complication in network structure. Yes, more and more when we add more and more operations, when we add more and more components in this operating system, it is going to raise the complications in the network structure also. So the next one is the time sharing operating system, and with the help of this diagram we are going to. So the first point is the multiple jobs, that is these processes, process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4 and process 5. Here they are jobs, okay, can be executed one on a system at the same time by sharing CPU time among them. Okay, so let us suppose this process 1, there is a CPU time slot for of 5 seconds, and I am providing 5-second operation time for process 1. Then the process 2 will get 5-second time for processing. Then the process 3 will get a 5-second time for processing, and so on. Okay, so I'm just dividing the time. I'm providing some time slots to the different processes, and on that slot, particular slot, the process need to can work or can use the CPU. The main objective of time sharing system is to minimize response time, but not maximizing the processor's use. But not maximizing the processor use. Okay. So what are the advantages of time sharing operating system? They minimize the response time. That is, the greater the response time, lesser is the efficiency of the system. And the next one is they reduce the CPU idle time. That CPU, as it is going on and on and on, the CPU utilization is good. Okay, and the CPU gets a very less or none idle time. So what are the disadvantages? First one is the poor security. If one process gets affected, and then the other processes are ought to get affected. So the next one is the lack of synchronization leads to system failure. If the operating system, that is the time sharing operating system, doesn't follow the synchronization methods or techniques, then it is surely going to lead the system to a failure state. Now comes the network operating system, and in this network operating system, we are going to explain this network operating system with the help of these two different diagrams. One is the peer-to-peer network operating system, and the other one is the server-based network operating system. Mostly, I will juggle between the two. Okay, because we are the main focus of this explanation is not on the network or what type of network, but on the operating system. So the first point is needed special functions and the protocols to facilitate connectivity and communication among the systems. Okay, so as this operating system follows networking structure, so it need to follow some protocols to facilitate the connectivity and communication among the systems. Provides security. Yes, it provides security. So in the peer-to-peer network, you can see that if one of the machine gets infected, then we can easily cut it out from other machines, and we can isolate the machine from infecting the other machines. And it also provides security. That means in server-based system, we need to if an individual wants to communicate with another machine, then it needs the help of a server to communicate, to establish a communication, and also the device need to authenticate itself before accessing the other machines, or making establishing a connection between other machines. And it enables the remote access to servers. Yes, it enables the remote access to. This is a network operating system. This is one of the feature. Now the next one is the facilitating users management, and then comes the similar to it is quite similar to distributed system, but they differ in the way they access resources. That is, let's go to the note that network operating system employs a client server model, whereas a distributed operating system employs a master slave model. So it is quite similar to distributed system, but it is quite different also from distributed operating. So now let's see the advantages. The first one is authorized access and automatic hardware detection. Okay, once you give your authenticated username and password, then the server automatically detects the registered device. So the next one is it provides services like print, web, disk backup. Okay, as we have discussed in the distributed system, all the features of distribution is also present in this operating system. Okay, and these services like printing, accessing web, and taking this backup is also provided. And the next one is the stabilized services. The service that network operating system provides is quite stabilized. What are the disadvantages of network operating system? The first one is it is expensive, as they need to run servers continuously. This one is one of the disadvantage. Another one is that if you see the peer-to-peer network connection, individual connection is individual node is interlinked with all other nodes. Okay, so can expect a very huge amount of connectivity cost also for this network operating system to work. The next one is needed for regular maintenance and updates. Yes, regular maintenance and update is required, and that is one of the disadvantage of a network operating system. And that it depends on server for every small operation. In server-based network network operating system, a individual or individual node or individual user always needs server's authentication or permission to perform some kind of operation. Okay. So next comes the real-time system, the real-time operating system. First point is it is used in environments where a large number of events, mostly external to the computer system, must be accepted and processed in short time or within certain deadlines. The example is a smoke detector system. Suppose this smoke sensor detects some smoke, so it will have to give the response in a short amount of time. It will have to give response continuously. In a radar system also, that is checking some missile activity, or in military systems, the radar systems that a military system uses. Okay, so they need a spontaneous response. So real-time system or real-time operating system provides this kind of support. And the next one is they are used when there are rigid time requirement on the flow of data or the operations of processes, and therefore used as a control device in a dedicated application. So it is the operation specific operating system. It can be also considered as a special purpose system. Okay. So this is what real-time system is. So what is the advantages? What are the advantages of real-time system? First one is it improvised performance. Next one is the less power consumption, and uh, uh, next one is the comparatively cheap. Okay. So the next one is what are the disadvantages of real-time system? So the first one is it needs significant effort for their development. Uh, they didn't have secondary storage devices. Yes, the real-time system doesn't have a secondary storage device. The third point is special designers or a debugging tool or compilers are needed to make the real-time system work. In my next video, I will be talking about operating system services and operating system functions. Please like my videos and share among your friends so that they can benefit from it too. I will be posting my next video very soon. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.